guys. Hi. Welcome to your geography show. I am Looney, and that's Dave. How are you, Dave?
I'm fine. Hello, learners. How are you keeping? I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing me again.
Yes, it's been a while, actually. So what are we doing for the Mindsetters today?
Interesting stuff. Very interesting. We're starting off with settlement geography, and today we're going to do urban settlements and hierarchies. I've decided to include it in there, into one package. I hope I can finish.
Okay, guys, I hope you are excited for the lesson. We have special guests in studio with us. Hi, guys.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Good, thanks.
Can you introduce yourselves? Tell us what you guys do, where you guys are from, starting on this side.
Hey, hi guys. My name is Melo Bushe, and I am from Wanja High School.
Oh, cool.
I am Bianca Pillay. I'm from Wanja High School as well and currently in grade 12.
And I'm Simingayo Njoko. I'm also from Wanja High School and a geography student in Matric.
Oh, cool. I hope you guys are excited, and we have Mindsetters in the studio with us as well. So we're going to carry on with the lesson. But before we do, how to get a hold of us. Facebook.com/LearnExtra is our Facebook page. @LearnExtra is how you get a hold of us on Twitter. And then you can download all the show notes, the videos, and the schedules on learn.mindset.co.za. And then if you want to win yourself this awesome Casio calculator, all you need to do is complete the test yourself section from our notes, and then you fill in the entry form, fill in all your details, press the submit button, and you have until tomorrow at 12 noon to enter, and then entries close tomorrow, so you cannot enter after tomorrow. Make sure you enter, guys, because it's such an awesome calculator to have, and it's very useful, especially if you're in matric, for your exams, for your tests, and everything else that you need to do with a calculator. Dave?
Yes, Tony. In fact, I think from next year I'm going to teach poetry.
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 Why?
I'm so passionate about poetry like this one. If you don't study geography,
Okay.
then you'll have to take a seat and accept defeat, because you won't be complete, and then you'll have to press delete.
No.
How's that, Kurtz?
No, sir.
You'll disagree with me. Well, learners may have a different opinion. They may like my poetry. You think I should change from geography?
No, sir.
Stick to
Okay, well, they may have a different opinion. Looney, just one more thing. I've been naughty.
Yes.
The gremlins had creeped into my notes, and unfortunately, I sent it too late.
Okay.
So, learners, please bear with me. I'll be putting little crosses across and changing some of the words.
Okay.
I mean, who's perfect?
No,
eh?
it's fine.
It's fine.
It's
eh?
fine.
And learners, on 1.1 on Test Yourself, it's A, B, C, A, D. Remember, it's A, B, C, A, D. The gremlins went in there also, and I didn't have time to change it there. So my apologies. Okay, let's get going. Urban settlements, and I'm including hierarchies here. I've included hierarchies so that we can actually cover certain parts of it. All right? But let's not waste time, and I hope I can cover, but in the questions, I'll cover the rest of it. In this section here, we're going to look at various things. The origin and development of urban settlements, as indicated down here. All right? The origins and development of settlements. Okay? And we're also going to consider urbanization and the world population. And we're going to discuss related concepts, which I will show you later. We're also going to look at how site and situation affects location, discuss the classification of urban settlements related to function, and we're going to look at related urban hierarchies. Okay? And I'm jumping here a bit, and I'm not getting my little question. Okay? And we're going to look at all those little things on this session. Now, remember, there's a challenge question for you, and I want you to think, I hope a lot of you get it right. I want you to refer to this diagram where we're looking at a high order center and a low order center. And we've learned already that if you're buying low order goods like bread, you will buy it at the low order center. You're not going to travel. But there's something unusual here. All right? You found that this one person, Jake, is actually buying his bread from the high order center, but he lives in the low order center. Now, why is Jake buying his bread there? Why is he not buying it there, where it's closer by? And that's what we learned. So I want you to think about this challenge question, all right? And give me the answer in the end, and I hope a lot of you get it right. Okay, let's get going. The origins of urban settlements. Very simply, I've got it in a nutshell here. All right? In order for urban settlements to take place, remember in the past, people used to farm for themselves. All right? It's hard, eh? And you have to give up all the fashion when you farm. All right? And suddenly, when there was a surplus of storage food, which food can be stored, all people did not have to work anymore. Can you see it here? They did not have to farm, rather, anymore. All right? And let me change my color. Right? I'm trying to make everything in white. Okay, so what happened to them? They got into other activities, such as making goods, education, building infrastructure, because they had food available. Now, they also lived in nucleated settlements so that they could trade with one another. This was the start of your urban settlement, when they lived together and trade happened. Farmers used to bring their crops in. Trade used to take place, sometimes exchange of goods, sometimes paying for it. And this was the start of your urban settlement. Then towns developed now along the transport routes. Remember, the wheel was very important. Eh? It brought through the ox wagons and the carts and the wagons, etc., that came through and allowed people to travel. And then we had it moving from villages to towns and then to cities that we have nowadays, these massive cities that you can see. Okay? Now, also let's look at what happened. And here are some of the gremlins which I'm going to strike off words and change them. Pre to industry, that's the pre-industrial towns. Basically, here, this is an example. You can see the wall around it. It was concerned mainly with commerce, trade, and craft industries. Because there wasn't much other industries then. People used to come to the marketplace. Many Hollywood films show you this. They're all coming in, then they're trading their goods, etc. So pre-industrial towns were like that. Then we had this massive industrial revolution that came through. You understand? And factories popped up. And now, your industrial town was basically predominantly dominated by industries. Of course, things went by, and we had the post-industrial town. Now we need people to process stuff, to actually offer services, because the emphasis now was machinery came part, there were more people available, we had to send out things, we had to control how industries were functioning, we had to control the accounts, we had to control various things, and people were getting richer and they demanded services. And all of a sudden, in the post-industrial town, like the one you see here, okay, a very modern town, was mainly concerned with services. And this is, in a nutshell, a brief history of how towns originated and went forward. All right, let's look at the word urbanization. All right, I'm showing you a city here. This is a massive city, Hong Kong. All right, where lots of people are there. What does urbanization refer to? It refers to the increase, proportion. We can also use the word percentage of people living in urban areas. So last year there were, let's use an example, there were 48% living in urban areas. Now there's 58%. So the percentage is increasing. What do we notice about urbanization? It's growing rapidly. It's growing. And at the moment, 70% of the most economically developed countries, the people are found in the urban areas, highly urbanized. You understand? Because they have those massive commercial farming, and few farmers produce for the whole country. At present, approximately 33% in the less economically developed countries that are urbanized. But urbanization is picking up in the less economically developed countries. We see it, girls. In our area, how many people have moved in? We've got informal settlements coming through. You understand? Everywhere you see them popping out, it's out of need. People can't get housing overnight. So what do? They have to build informal settlements, etc. So lots of people are moving to the urban areas. I'm sure that excellent teacher in school would have taught you. All right. Main factors responsible for this is natural growth, making babies. Hope none of you all are doing that. You must study. All right. And rural-urban migration, moving from rural areas to urban areas, have brought this huge amount of people. Right, I want to compare a few more concepts. And you must please, learners, make sure that you all know the difference between these concepts. Because it's easy to confuse, eh? Like for instance, the rate of urbanization refers to the pace at which urbanization is happening. How fast are people moving in? The percentage is just increasing all the time. So this will be ideal for or appropriate to developing countries, because many people are rushing to the urban areas now. The level of urbanization is the percentage of people of the number living in the urban areas. This is more developed countries, because now there's a high percentage, as we said, 70%. And not many people are moving in now, because they got the commercial farmers and they got the urbanized people. You understand? They're all settled. So here it's developed, here it's developing. So we can say LEDC. I don't write like this in school. Just tell the learners that.
No, sir, you don't.
All right, and MEDC. Urban growth refers to the increase in the number of people living in an urban area. It's increasing all the time. Watch out, look at this little concept. Urban expansion, you understand, refers to the physical expansion. That means more people are coming in. That's not urban expansion. What is happening is the city is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, physically it's growing. All right, I know we're fooling around with a lot of concepts, and it's concept after concept, but during the going through the questions, we'll actually look at how we apply them. All right, can you see urbanization here? It's growing, the city is growing. Urban sprawl, on the other hand, is the formless expansion of an urban area. All right, it just grows in any direction. To the east, west, depend where there's an opportunity, it grows. And that is why I put this nice cartoon in here. You understand? These guys are all going to the town. Okay, these guys are staying behind. Because they're saying they're clever. The town is actually going to reach them. Because the town is expanding, or the city or the urban area is expanding. So they'll wait till the city. Can you see how it's changing there? And urban expansion needs to be controlled. We'll do it in future lessons. You understand? But at the moment, many areas, the city is expanding and expanding and expanding. We're seeing it in our country. Am I right, girls?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go on. What was site again?
The area where settlements
Yes.
begin.
You really got a good teacher. You understand? Site again, as you would have done in rural settlements, refers to the exact place, you understand, where the settlement occurs, the exact piece of land. And situation, on the other hand, refers to the area surrounding that place. It has an influence over it. Well done. All right. Factors that affect. It's almost the same like the ones you would have done under rule. All right? Where you look at water supply. You need water for an urban settlement. Relief. How steep or gentle the land is. You can't build on the side. You can't build an urban area on the side of the Drakensberg. I think that'll be the problem. Right? Keep falling over when you come out of your house. Okay. Underlying rock structure. Under rural area you had soil fertility. Here we talk about underlying rock structure. Why would we talk about underlying rock structure? What do we do with the land? We build on it, isn't it? So we need firm underlying rock structure. We don't worry so much about fertile soil. Okay, drainage, obviously. How the water drains in the area. We don't want floods, etc. Raw materials defect an urban area. You understand? Good raw materials, even minerals, etc., attract. Johannesburg was a mining town at first. The mineral gold attracted us there. All right? Aspect of slope, north, south facing slope. In the southern hemisphere, you want to be on the north facing slope. Like this little diagram shows you aspect of slope. If this was the southern hemisphere, this would have been the north facing slope. On this one, the side factor, girls, you can see a lot of it down here. Eh? Water supply. Can you see it? That affects that area. Situation, on the other hand, refers to the location as an indicator of the settlement in relation to the surrounding area. Here we could look at, let's take this diagram or picture. We look at transport. Can you see how it's leading out? It's not on the settlement, but it's connecting the settlement. And around the end, you can see there's other settlements which could be the market. So things are transported out and sold to them. So it's not on the settlement, it's out of the settlement, which makes it situation. Are you enjoying this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Nice pictures, eh? I didn't take it. Okay. Let's look at the classification of settlements according to function. Central place. Central place is a center of an urban area in the center that supplies the surrounding area with urban functions. The farmlands, etc. They need urban functions. So we have a central place in there. All right? Then we have trade and transport cities. Cities near harbors like Cape Town. All right? Also, trade happens when goods are brought in and taken out. Okay? As indicated down here. Now we have different types of trade and transport cities. First one, break of bulk. What do we mean by this? There's the ships here. All right? You see somebody sunbathing there? Right. There's the ships, they come in. All right? And what actually happens is they bring in all the containers, which is then split into smaller parts and sent via rail or road to all parts of South Africa. That is where transport is replaced by another example in Durban. That's one type of trade and transport city. Another one, specialized towns. They have a specialized function, like Umhlanga Rocks. Holiday, you imagine you sitting there, relaxing at the beach, not doing anything naughty, just relaxing with your geography book and studying. All right? This town is a recreation town. And if you take away recreation from this town may die out. It's a specialized town. Then you've got a junction town at important junction points. Like you take the R, all right? It's got important railway routes leading to Port Elizabeth and Cape Town. What an ideal situation. Because if you got your industry there, you send it out via rail to two big parts of South Africa. So it's at the intersection of different transport systems like rail, road. In overseas countries, you even got intersections or junctions of rivers. Gateway town, the Gap and Port in Mapua, girls. All right, the Gap and Port. Like this is in Harrismith. There's a gap here. Ideal place. You understand? You've got a gap through. People will use that road. And if they're using that road, wouldn't it make sense to build a town here? It'll make business. So we have a gateway or gap town that's situated in the gap, the physical feature there, like Harrismith. Lots of you have been to Durban or coming from Durban or from Cape Town to Durban, and you'll see, all right, or more Johannesburg to Durban rather, you'll see Harrismith there and how it goes through the mountains. All right, hierarchy. This is the other section that I'm trying to squeeze in, and if I don't, I apologize, learners. There are some questions here that I will ask you on this section. Now, you've learned, all right, as you've studied in your rural urban, at the first introduction, you find there's isolated dwellings, and as you move up, you come to a city and a conurbation. But what we realized here is that the number of settlements decrease as you go up, but the size increases, it gets bigger from a town to a conurbation. All right, the population increases and there are more services. All right, so it's the ranking of an urban settlement according to the significance. Okay, we have more on the bottom, less on the top, but higher order functions. All right, threshold population is the number of customers needed for a business or service to make profit. Like you're selling bread in a shop, you may need 2,000 customers to buy from you. Sphere of influence is the area from which a business or service gets its customers. And range is the distance people are prepared to travel. You travel less for bread because it's cheaper, but you're buying a BMW, you can travel distances to buy it. You want the best offer. And I just want to go through this quickly. Low order functions and services like your bread, your post office. Can you see the grocery shop here? Are bought on a regular basis. You understand? So that's low order goods and services. And high order goods and services are functions and services that are bought less frequently, specialized, like your car, like taking an airplane, all right? And they are used less frequently and people are prepared to travel. Luni? I'm taking a break now. I think I've spoken more than enough.
Okay, cool. Mindset is we are going to take a break. Quick congratulations goes out to Martin Matle for winning this awesome Casio calculator. If you want to be like Martin, complete the test yourself, questions from your notes, and then you fill in the entry form, and then you can start and transfer in this awesome calculator. Let's take a very quick break, and I'll see you straight after this. Welcome back, guys, from the break. I hope you guys are still enjoying the show. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Take us straight back today.
Girls, do you want more of my poetry?
No.
No, sir.
Learners, I hope you disagree. Okay, let's get on to improving your skills. Girls, I want to see how sharp you are. Then we know about your teacher. All right, let's look at this diagram. All right, it didn't come out very clear here, but this settlement is actually on a slope. All right, it's on a slope. Now, there's other areas around the settlement. I try to put in as much pictures as possible because your exemplar doesn't have as much pictures, so you can picture it down here. Okay? So we looked at here, we can see this is where the settlement is, and there is markets around it. Define the term site. Girls, let me see if you'll know this. Define the term site.
The exact location where a settlement occurs.
Well done. Let's see if you're right. And I'm going to have a bit of a problem here, Luni. I always have a problem with this, to open this thing up.
You click the...
Okay, I need to erase. Sorry, learners. And I'm going to erase this. Ah, there's it here.
No, the other one, the black one, you see on top of the...
On top of the...
The pins.
Oh, yes, it's down here. All right, then I press on it. I'm going to have a problem, but anyway, I'm going to get it soon. You are right. I'm having a problem today. It is actually the exact location. I'm not writing. The exact location. The exact location of the site. That means where the settlement is. Learners are messing up today.
It's above the pins. You see the
back of the pen?
Above.
Above the pen? And
This-
I'm looking
this
for the
one.
pen. Ah, thank you so much. Thank you, man. You see what young blood does? Today I'm losing it. So it refers to the exact location on which the settlement develops, with a few arrows in between. Please don't write the arrows. Eh? All right, let's go on. State the site factor visible in the photograph that determine the location of the settlement. What do you think would be?
The slope.
Slope aspect, learners. I'm sure you got it also because it's on the slope. And in the southern hemisphere, which slope aspect will it be?
The north
North facing. In the
facing
northern
slope.
hemisphere, the south facing. Now I'm nervous. Ah, got it. Thanks, Looney. I'm
You're
getting it
welcome.
again. You know, each time you have to remind me it's age and
Okay, that's fine.
All right, let's look at the next one. Explain how the site factor, answer to question 1.2, was used to locate the settlement. And I suppose that's where our answer comes in, eh? We all looked at which hemisphere we are in and which side the sun shines. And if we're in the northern hemisphere, it would be in the south-facing slope. And if we're in the southern hemisphere, it would have been the
North facing slope.
All right, you're located on the north-facing slope. All right, the north-facing slope receives direct sunlight in the southern hemisphere. All right, southern hemisphere. Whoa, I'm really getting it now. You understand? Let's look at something else. Another question. Explain two other possible site factors that could have influenced the location of this settlement. Two other factors. Now, learners, one thing very important, okay, is that we look at the diagrams and see if we can find the possible ones there first. Okay, and I'll tell you, if you can't find it, take your chance outside. Right. But on this one here, it didn't come out very clearly, but there is a road leading out down there. Right, learners? You can see a road. All right? Also, there is a river that ran through here. Not as clear there, but you can see a river. But please, if you don't find it, learners, it said possible solutions. So you can assume. All right? But there is a road and a river here. You understand? The road leads in and it cuts through there. You understand? So, drainage could be one. Now remember I mentioned the road. And you may say to me, transport. But if the road is on the settlement, on that piece of land, and it was there, and the settlement developed after that, then it's also a site factor. So transport can be a site or a situation factor, depending if it's linking up the place or it's on the place itself. Okay, I'm going to do this one. All right, because I'm going to enjoy pressing this. Yes. There's a lot of indicated good quality of soil. Was one of them that was indicated there. All right, there's another one where we could talk about the river. So that would be water supply. And we can use transport because on this one there was a road on that exact piece of land. So, transport. Okay? You all happy? Let's look at the next one. Evaluate. Learners learn these words off. Evaluate, assess. You understand? All those little things. What we're saying is, when we say evaluate, we say, is the site good or bad? And this is going to be your high order questions. You understand? Whether the site is good or bad. What do you guys think? Is this site good?
Yes, sir.
You all agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay? You're right. And I'm sure the learners out there also said it's good. Why do you think it's good?
Because there could be a marketplace around
Right?
the area.
The situation. There could be a marketplace. I'm happy that you did not state fertile soil. Because that's what learners sometimes jump to. And I didn't highlight this word. Because it deals with the situation. You understand? Situation. Which not deals with fertile soil. Fertile soil is site. So you're right, there's a marketplace. What else did we find there? If you look up here.
The transport.
Transport network linking the road, the settlement to the market. So yes, it is a good site, all right? Because it has linking to the markets, okay? And it has a market. You know, you're building something and you can't sell from a settlement? Okay, I'm not even going to bother about that one. You seem to know that already. Okay? Let's go to the next one. That is not me. Maybe it's Looney, I don't know. All right? Okay, let's look at the cartoon that we have here. Because you will get cartoons also. All right? You see Frankenstein? He's walking through and he's saying, build, baby, build. I'm sure there must be some hip-hop song on that. All right? So build, baby, build. And what do you notice? There's farmlands here being crushed and the city is just developing. What concept is that?
Urban
Urban sprawl. You understand? So your cartoons, etc., leads you on what to the examiner actually wants. All right? So if we look at this one, obviously, you'll see the scaffolding questions from define and then move down. So your examiner will start off to introduce you to the concept which you worked out already. And then he says, define the term urban sprawl. You see, Lulu?
Yes,
you want to change
I was
it?
looking
you
at
press
you.
the one on top.
Yes.
You learn that, eh? You learn. Then you can press here. Otherwise, you make yourself an embarrassment. Okay, it's the formless expansion of urban areas. It just grows, as we discussed earlier. Can you see how it's in action now? You concept, concept, concept. But now what we're doing is we're using it. Now watch this. State 3 problems, urban problems. Don't talk about farming. Watch out. 3 urban problems. See, you press the pen first. 3 urban problems. Because people immediately, they see the word problems, they forget about urban. You can't talk about farming problems. So what would be some of the urban problems that you guys think? Can you help me out there?
If there's a lot of traffic,
Because it's just growing, eh?
Yes,
Lots
sir.
of traffic, lots of congestion. All these things are happening. You understand? Because it's growing, because it's urban problems. But do you realize this, how sometimes how easily you can make a mistake? When you look at the word problems, let's look at it down here. All right, traffic congestion. Get my pen working. Pollution. I've even included a way out one crime. You understand? It's another situation. I don't want to include the normal one. But you can go on and on with problems. The different types of pollution, the crime, the traffic congestion. All right. A lack of aesthetic appeal because the city is just growing. There's no more beauty left. You understand? Trees, etc. are cut down. 2.3. Explain 3 environmental impacts. Can you see the operational words? Learners, be very careful. Don't just, many of you got the habit of just reading one word, impacts, and you write everything. You understand? You write damaging people's homes and farmlands get damaged. Watch out for words. It says environmental impacts. Anybody wants to help me with that?
They can destroy the vegetation.
Yes, they can destroy the natural vegetation. You understand? They can damage the fauna and the flora. They can damage ecosystems. That's environmental. Can you see it, learners? It's not just impact, but it's specific. So you give answers out of that. It's actually wrong. Okay? You must stick to the main word. So let's look at the answer. Let me press my arrow. It removes vegetation to build. Removes vegetation to build an urban area. Destroys the ecosystems and the food chains. Look at this. Increases runoff, resulting in more soil erosion. That's an environmental impact. You're removing fertility of soil. Can you see what we're also doing here? We sort of including our geomorphology, to a certain extent our climate. You understand? So don't learn in isolation, learners. Pick up everything and go through it. Okay? Because you see them together and try and fix like aspect of slope was climate. Am I right, guys? So you pick up various aspects. Discuss possible solutions to urban sprawl. What could we do? What could we do, guys?
Replanting.
Yeah.
The green belt, eh? Please, green belt is not karate. It's a green belt where you're leaving vegetation, conservation areas. Because soon, if you leave urban sprawl, learners, the cities will meet. I mean, you don't want that. You understand? We don't want to be have Pretoria with us and damage all the vegetation. Not that we don't like Pretoria. You understand? So these are problems. So one of the biggest things, and you correct, is that we develop green belt areas, okay? Declare conservation sites. That's natural, it stays natural. All right, planting vegetation in areas. All right, develop green belt and planting may be same. Revegetating, all right, or remaining and keeping the vegetation as it was. That also makes a difference. All right, there's a difference, forestation and afforestation. Deforestation is moving, afforestation is planting. So these are some of the options that you would get. All right? Let's look at the next question. I just drew this in. I hope you like my drawing. It's nice, eh? Let's look at this one, learners. What is it showing you here? It shows you center A, and there's some gremlins in these questions. I do apologize for that. All right, settlement A. All right? Down here, and that's settlement or service center B. These lines refer to the sphere of influence. What have we picked up now, learners? That A has a larger sphere of influence. It draws its customers from a larger area, maybe even including that. And B from a smaller area. See, a smaller area. So, small center, smaller sphere of influence. Large center, larger. That's what we discussed earlier, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. Let's look at the questions again. Can you see we can ask you for definitions? Scaffolding. From easy, it leads on to more difficult, but there's a lead-on question here. Discuss the sphere of influence. Anybody want to try?
An area where an urban area gets its
Customers.
Yes. An urban area gets its customers. I am not having luck today. All right? Undo button. And another one, and I'm not having luck, learners. I think it's Looney's fault. She's been messing with this before this. All right? Okay, let's go. The area from which an urban area gets its customers. That is a sphere of influence. Let's see if you know this, learners. High order service centers. All right? Anybody want to take a try?
It's where you get your
Specialized goods. You're on a roll there. Where you get your specialized goods. You understand that are bought more frequently or less frequently?
Less frequently.
Like your cars, your clothing. Okay, with some of the female learners, clothing is a daily. You buy it daily. But for all of us who are not well off, it's bought less frequently. So, contains specialized service and is used less frequently. All right? And a low order service, obviously the opposite, isn't it? A low order service is something that is bought more frequently. It's cheaper. You understand? All right? Or a center that will sell, low order things that are bought more frequently. Your local shop, you understand, will be a low order service center selling stuff to you. Okay? So, let's look at that. A low order provides good services functions to the surrounding area, but low order goods. All right. Now, let's look at this one. Here it's a bit cockeyed, I would say. You understand? Classify the settlements A and B according to high order service center and low order service center and give a reason for your answer. Let's take A. Is that a high or low in comparison to that? It's a high order service center or low? Obviously it's a high order. You can see in comparison to this one, you understand? This one has a large sphere of influence. Okay? So it's a higher order service center. B, on the other hand, has a smaller sphere of influence. Right? And it's a smaller center. Right? So the higher order is A. Okay? Because it has a large sphere of influence compared to the other one. Okay, so your answer is A. All right, let's go further. State two goods that people from settlement, and I'm going to apologize, Len. My things have been off today, the gremlins have been here. settlement B will obtain from settlement A. Okay? Please note that thing. It's a mistake. So, what type of goods would settlement or service center B obtain from A? You want to take a chance?
Furniture.
Cars, furniture, clothing.
Clothing, furniture. Why? Because what type of goods are they? High or low order?
High order.
High order. Yes, well done. They are high order goods. So we'll purchase them from a higher order center. Maybe this local center will not have those things in there. It may just have the basic stuff that the dwellers around that area would need. Okay, so you're 100% right. All right, they will buy the higher order goods. I'm going to do this quickly. Tertiary population is the number of people, customers needed in order for a business to make a profit. Will high order or low order services have a higher threshold population? Let's see this one. Which one will have a higher threshold population? Low order goods. That's
High
interesting. Why high order?
Because they have less people buying, so they would obviously need more people to buy from
They
them.
have different people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your low order service, everybody buys the bread at the same place. So you walk in, he says, "Hi Bianca, how are you? I've got your vegetables there. I know you love this fruit." So it's the same customers buying every day. But at the high order good, it's different customers buying all the time. Learners, take a break, get some water, and we'll be back soon.
All right. Dave said it all 9 seconds, so we'll see you straight after this. Welcome back, guys, from the break. I hope you're still with us because you're so quiet on Facebook and on Twitter. You're not talking to me. What's going on? But I hope you guys are enjoying the lesson and you don't have questions and you know everything that's going on because you haven't been asking me anything. So I'll take it that Dave is being a good teacher.
And learn this. You check this session. No pressing the wrong buttons. Eh? Right. You want more poetry?
No.
Sure, eh?
No, sir.
Okay, let's get on.
Geography.
Learners, before we go on to any other questions, let's get on to the challenge question. All right, and I want to see who can answer this. All right. Now, we spoke about this diagram, that there's the low order service center where this person stays. Jake, you can even call him Bra Jake also. It's fine. You understand? Bra Jake stays there. All right? But he's buying his bread from this large urban center which is a distance away. Now why would he buy his bread from there when he's not buying, when his bread is available there also? And sometimes you have to think out of the box. The geography is relating reality with your knowledge of geography. And I know, if I show this, many people want to kick themselves. You understand? All right? I didn't realize it's so simple. Let's take the question here. Think about it. He's buying it from a high order service center. All right? Now, why would he buy it from there? Anybody wants to take a chance? I'm worried whether you can get this right. Anybody
try
take a
it,
chance
sir.
here? Let's see.
Well,
Okay.
I think maybe he might be working.
Yes, well done. He could be working here. You understand? And he tells his wife, buy the bread, and she says no. Buy the milk, she says no. So what does he do? After work, it's quite late. You understand? And he doesn't want to be in a doggy box at home. So what does he do? He buys his bread from here and he takes it back with him to his house. So we can't have exception to the rule. You understand? Because he's working here, he buys his bread here. So we can't have longer places. He's not actually traveling there to buy his bread, but he's traveling there to work. And you may get some other low order goods also, learners, where all of a sudden, mommy and daddy, or even you read the newspaper, you understand, and they say beans, with a lot of gas obviously, beans. You understand, and you all love beans. All right, we don't want to be in your house after you eat beans, right? But you love the beans. And you say, Daddy says, I'll go buy 4 crates. For each tin is 2 rand cheaper. So he's prepared to travel 20 kilometers. Because overall, if he buys 4 trays, he's actually saving around 200 rand. Can you see that now? Or it was just 25 cans in a thing. So people can travel for low order goods if they're buying in bulk or if they work somewhere else. But I'm sure you worked it out, learners. You guys are masters, same like these learners. But these learners are not masters, they've got an excellent teacher. You see, that's the difference. Okay, so that is correct, guys. And remember, learners, you press the black arrow, right? And something else happened again. And today is not my day. But you press the black arrow, and something is still happening, and I press here, okay? And you can see he's possibly working in a high order center. After he work, he buys bread at the high order center before returning home. Looney, is there anybody who wants to ask questions?
We don't have any questions actually.
Whoa, lovely, man.
Yeah,
All
so
right, I
you're
think
doing
it's
a great
I think
job.
it's not me, it's my learners that are teaching well. All right.
Yes,
And maybe
your girls
Nah,
can
it
ask
is
questions.
It can never be me. Girls, would you like to ask any questions?
I'd like to ask, what about like transport money, like petrol money? Wouldn't it be more if they're going to buy the things in bulk and whatever? They'd still be losing money if they, with petrol, with regards to petrol
I
prices.
suppose they would have to look at that. You understand? Remember, when your parent opens it up, unless you got a real fascination with beans, you understand, big beans. But you also look at other things. Whoa, the peas is cheap. You understand? And that is cheap, and that is cheap. So you buy a variety of goods. You understand? But even on the beans alone, okay, 20 kilometers may cost you 20 rand petrol or a little more. But if you take 4 crates of beans, there's 24 cans. It's almost a saving of 200 rand. So you're paying far less petrol. But if you're going to buy 1 can of bean, then obviously it's a difference, eh? But you're buying in bulk. So it depends on the bulk you buy. You always work it out. Is it less than my petrol costs? But a good question.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to ask?
So just on the concept, what is the difference between urbanization and urban growth?
Urbanization and urban growth. All right, urbanization, and maybe I need to extend my page here. Urbanization actually talks about the percentage growth. That's urban. Now you will make sure you made me right, eh? Urbanization is the percentage growth. You understand? That means that the city has, let's say last year, the city had 51% people living and the rural areas had 49. So in 2013, you see how the 3 goes? There was 51% urban and 49% rural. Okay? Now in 2014, there is 58% urban and 42% rural. Can you see it? The percentages have changed. But urban growth, on the other hand, is the increase in the number of people. Very close, eh? But it doesn't have to be necessarily mean that the percentage went down in the rural area. We just take the urban area on its own. There could be an increase in the rural area, and maybe there was a quicker increase in the rural area, and the percentage went higher in the rural area and dropped in the urban area. But we're not concerned about the rural area. We're just saying the number of people last year was 10 million people in the city. This year, it's 15 million people. That's a difference, but very close.
We have a question
You have a question?
from Atankos. What pull factors cause rural depopulation?
Rural depopulation, sure. There are many factors that cause rural depopulation. And let me
You
go
can
a
extend
little
the
further and extend my page. Now, remember, sorry the name.
Atankos.
It's a Kosi. Remember, there are push factors and pull factors. This is a common mistake many people make. Like, for instance, one of the things is a poor level of education. And what happens? People leave the rural area and they go to the urban area. to take the children for better education. That is a push factor. A pull factor is what makes the urban area drawing them in. Better educational facilities. You understand? Another one is lack of job opportunities. People don't have work because machines maybe have taken over. So what happens? They move to the urban area. Another one could be lack of proper housing or basic services, which cause people to move away from there. You understand? Another thing could be floods or droughts causing people to move away from there. So there are various factors. But I think the time has run out. I hope I've answered your question. All the best, guys. You do well and study very, very hard. Remember my poem.
No, we don't. No, we don't want to remember your poetry, Dave. Thank you for the lesson, though. Ladies, do you want to send any shout-outs to any of your friends?
Yes, I'd like to send a shout out to Tamira Naidu. I love you, my best friend.
Okay.
And I'd like to send a shout out to Anandi, Kuling, Ekue, Lauren, Miriam. Okay, I'll stop now.
Okay.
I'd like to send out a shout out to Neo, Kacheho, Palisa, Kanye, and Tando.
All
So what
right.
about Mondio High? All the learners at
All
Mondio High.
the learners at Monja High.
You understand? To everybody.
Put pressure on them. What if they don't want to say hi? Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to Macmillan for bringing us this awesome show. Until next time, guys, we'll see you there.